Alright, so tonight we're going to review a little ghost story called Dark Remains, directed by Brian Avanet-Bradley. I picked this movie up at a Hastings Superstore one day just from the box art alone. I mean, the box, just judging from that, man, I mean, I don't generally do that, but this one looked like it was going to be a pretty sweet movie. Little did I know just how good of a movie this is. Dark Remains is a little tale about a little girl that her mother awakens one night from her very bad nightmare, goes to check on her daughter, finds her daughter dead and mutilated in her bed. Sometime in the middle of the night, someone had broken into their house without them knowing and mutilated their daughter. This is obviously too much for her to deal with. So her and her husband decide that they're going to get away for a while and they're going to head off into the mountains to try to clear their minds and put the horrific experience behind them and just try to regroup. Julie decides she's going to work on her photographs. She likes to take pictures of stuff, and her husband is a writer, so he decides he's going to do a little writing and just whatever they can, just to kind of take their mind off of what they've gone through. It seems harmless, they're just going to go relax and do their favorite hobby to help get stuff off their mind. You would think it would be harmless, but it seems that their pain and suffering in this little mountain cottage, if you will, has awoken something off in the mountains, and they're kind of pissed off. So Julie starts to get really into her photographs and begins to see things in the exposures when she's developing the film. She keeps going back and taking more pictures and bringing them back and keeps seeing more shit. She just constantly, every time she takes a picture, she keeps seeing these things. So she eventually becomes so obsessed with this and wants to know what's going on, she just keeps taking them and starts to alienate herself from her husband Alan. He tries to find a way, to get her away from this. She's just absorbed so much, and he starts to fear for her, starts to get scared. I don't really want to get into a lot, man. I mean, the movie goes off into some crazy-ass areas, and basically it looks like almost looks like they've gone off into this old little prison-type situation. And whatever it is that she is taking the pictures of starts to manifest. Each time she takes a picture, it seems like it becomes a little more vivid and a little more visible to them. Some crazy shit happens in this movie, man. I mean, it's creepy. It's well written. It's very well directed, and it's just plain out scary as shit. I mean, it really is. Dark Remains is one hell of a horror movie, and up until this point, man, I mean, I really, really love ghost stories. A real good ghost story, real good ghost tale is hard to come by. And I hadn't seen a really good ghost story since the movie A Ghost Story that had Alice Krige in it and a bunch of the old school crooners. A little movie came out a few years ago, directed by Matt Bush, called Conjure, that was pretty damn close. I mean, it was good, it was solid. It had its faults, it had its moments, but for an initial freshman effort from a director, it was really good, really impressive. Dark Remains is amazing. I mean, it's just such a phenomenal film to watch. The acting of Julie, played by Cherie Christian, was amazing. I mean, this woman completely gets into her character, completely makes you believe that she's seeing what she claims to see. I mean, you're watching this movie, I believe it's around an hour and a half, and it keeps you entertained. I mean, you literally watch this movie from beginning frame to end frame, and you're just in amazement. You want to find out what happens next. The lighting in this movie, man, the dark hues and the environment ambiance that is utilized in this film is just absolute brilliance. I mean, I give serious props to Brian Avanet-Bradley for making such a brilliant film. I mean, this movie is really one of the best movies that I've ever had the privilege of sitting through. As for a ghost story, it's up there, man. I mean, it's really, really up there. I mean, it's been about 4 years since I've seen it, but I watched it again recently, and it had the same allure and the same oomph that it did the first time I saw it, if not more. I mean, I enjoyed it a little bit more. I've experienced a lot of movies and a lot of situations since, and it made me appreciate this film so much more. Like I said, man, I can keep going on and talking about how well this movie was done, how well the ghosts were done, how scary they were, and it's just, bottom line, man, this is just a really, really brilliant movie. I mean, I literally don't have enough good things to say about this film. I can't think of anything bad at all to say about it. This is one of the gems, one of the very few movies that I've watched that I really can't find anything that sucked about it. The movie was brilliant. I mean, it's a good movie. I highly recommend that you go watch this movie. I highly recommend that you own it to your collection. If you have a good, decent horror movie collection, Dark Remains by Brian Avanet-Bradley should be one of those movies. It's excellent. You need to pay attention to this cat. He's on to something. And I personally can't wait to watch the next film from him. This movie's good, man. Check it out. I'm out.